Hi everyone, this is basically the follow-up presentation to that on narrative writing. Using descriptive language is a really important part of narrative writing, so we decided to dedicate a PowerPoint just to that. So it can enhance your writing by helping readers visualize your story, and it can be achieved by using sensory, figurative, and descriptive words. We're first going to look at using wordplay to create an image for the reader. So this includes active verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and dialogue. And the idea behind using these and showing instead of just telling is that you want the reader to really be able to experience the story in an engaging way instead of just seeing words on a page. The first writing tool we're going to look at is active verbs. So active verbs can be defined as verbs which are used in sentences in which the subject does the action rather than having it done to them. This typically creates more effective statements, so when you're going through your story, try to look for ways to incorporate these active verbs. The next writing tool we're going to look at is adjectives, which is used to describe a noun, and it's best used when being specific about the following word. So for instance, the older boys, the taller boys, or the embarrassed boys. So older, taller, and embarrassed are the adjectives in there that are really being very descriptive about the following noun. While it's true that adjectives can be great for being specific, they can also be redundant if the quality of the adjective can be condensed into the noun. So for instance, he growled uses a descriptive noun and gets the point across more efficiently than it would if you said he had a growling voice. So adverbs are pretty similar to adjectives. The only difference is when they're modifying the word next to it, they're modifying something that isn't a noun. So for instance, in the sentence on the screen, extremely is an adverb that's describing the adjective attractive. Just like adjectives, unnecessary use of adverbs can be distracting for the reader. So when you're glancing through your writing, look for adverbs that could be incorporated naturally into the verb itself. So for instance, on the screen, you could change they ran quickly to they raced for the door. Now that we've covered selecting words to convey your meaning, we can begin to look at how to form descriptive sentences using them. So sensory language is pretty literal in that it describes senses so that readers can experience them with you. So some examples of this would be the cat's fur felt warm and soft, or the smell of freshly baked apple pie reminded me of apple picking on a mid-autumn day. Figurative language, on the other hand, uses figures of speech to compare or add flair to your story. So we'll be looking at each of the figurative tools that are listed on the screen more in depth in the following slides. A simile is a figure of speech that compares two things using the words like or as. So for instance, he is as loud as thunder uses as to show resemblance between the person and thunder. A metaphor also highlights a comparison, but it achieves it without the use of like or as. So for instance, the example above compares the sun by saying Shakespeare called it the eye of heaven, implying the similarity. Personification assigns human qualities to non-human entities within your story. This can provide emotion and action to objects that were initially inanimate or showed no emotion. So for instance, on the screen, the drums were weeping today provides the emotion of weeping to an inanimate object, which is drums. Onomatopoeia refers to words that sound like their meaning, such as hiss, bang, or sizzle. The last figure of speech we're going to look at is a hyperbole. So this is an overstatement that is a clear dramatization to add emphasis to whatever you're saying. So other examples in addition to the one on the slide include it weighed a ton, or I'm so hungry I could eat the whole house. Hopefully looking a bit more in depth at adverbs, adjectives, active verbs, sensory and figurative language has helped you look a bit about how you can enhance your writing and make it a bit more descriptive to help your reader enjoy the experience alongside you.